Okay, I think we can start. Huh? So, last two classes we have discussed about resistor and inductor. So, based on some of the clarification arised, okay, so last week and especially today also, your class representative, I was to clarify something. It is first two experiments, okay, first three experiments. It is completely study experiment only. Actually, even if in a regular lab, okay, even if you conduct a physical lab, we are not going to conduct any experiment on that. Only we are going to learn. Because as when I started the very first class, during the very first class, I told that. So it is mandatory to know all the active and passive components. So it is not going to be with any specific experiment. Irrespective of the experiment, or we can say irrespective of the lab also, you should aware about all the active and passive components, especially so the passive components like resistor, inductor, and capacitor, active components like transistor, diode, all the power supplies. You should aware that. So here we are not going to do any experiment only with the particular component. Say for example, if you know that we are conducted resistor, we are completed. So with the resistor alone, we all know that. So if a resistor is connected in any a power supply, automatically it will resist the current flow. So because of that, so from there we can able to identify that it is capable of controlling the current. So automatically, in addition to that, there will be a dissipation of power. So what is the power loss that is across the resistor is I square R. What is the voltage drop across the particular resistor is VI. What is the voltage supplied? What is the current that is flow through that? That's all. So it is going to be a completely study experiment only. Like this resistor, we are also going to learn inductor. As already we started last class, capacitors. Okay. Apart from that, we are also going to study what are all the power supplies, regulator power supply, dual power supply, function generators, what is a CRO, cathode ray oscilloscope, DSO, digital store. So these are all the measuring instruments, devices that is available in all lab. So these are all the instruments. They are not specifically, we are not going to do with any experiment particularly. All the experiments we are going to handle. It is like a warm up. So when you are going for any exercises or when you are freshly joined in any gym, okay, for the physical fitness activities you are joined means. So at the beginning, okay, in the beginning they will give you some exercises, especially to warm up. Okay, so whatever maybe the exercises that you are going to practice afterwards, your body should be able to fit that. Because of that, there should not be any problem. Okay, muscle ties and etc. and any swelling. So in order to avoid that, you will be given some warm up exercise. That is not exercise, warm up. Likewise, here before going to the particular electrical workshop practices, you should aware about that. That's why the very first three experiments exclusively it is given as a study experiment. So some of you told that that is like other lab and there is no any simulation. Is there? It is there, but no any simulation. It is similar. So now I'm presenting one experiment that is a virtual lab. So it is basic electronic virtual lab. So in that list of experiments, this is what we are going to see: familiarization with the resistor, familiarization with the capacitor, familiarization with the inductor. Okay. So if a familiarization with the resistors means there is no any experiment, only you are going to learn. You are going to completely study what is fixed and variable, what are all the 4 band, 5 band, 6 band resistors. Already we covered, no? That's what I covered. Okay. So after completely knowing that, okay, only thing is we should be able to this mnemonic should to remember. So from B to gold, okay, or we can say B to W, okay, especially what are all the digits it's assigned to that. Then after that, if any values that is given, okay, so whatever maybe whether it's a 4 band or 5 band or 6 band with the TCR, okay, temperature coefficient resistance, if it is shown to you, you should be able to identify because in real time after certain maybe from fourth semester onwards you may have to in a breadboard you may have to construct a very complex circuits also in that complex circuits, you may have to handle at least minimum 4 or 5 resistors. So when you are going to the lab technician, okay, they will also, if you say that 200 ohm resistor I need, 100 ohm a resistor I need, means they will give you a punch. Yes, take it from this. You have to identify which value, whether they have given a correct value resistor. Say, for example, this will not be the problem for other components. Say, for example, they are giving a voltmeter, you are asking for 0 to 100 voltage. Okay, moving coil, MC coil means very well you can see that by scaling, whether it's able to read 0 to 100 voltage, whether it is a DC, we can able to identify with the plus minus symbol. We need not to verify. Likewise, if you are going and asking any rheostat means, they will give you what is a ohm rating, everything will be printed on that. Likewise, watt meter, voltmeter, ammeter, energy meter, everything. So when they at the supply end itself, we can very easily identify. But as far as the resistor and inductor and capacitor is there, unless otherwise, we really apply our own knowledge. Sometimes erroneous may be there. Say they will give you 200 ohms, but it may not be 200 ohms. Sometimes it may be 2 kilo ohm. So you know the difference between 200 ohm and 2 kilo ohm. 2 kilo ohm is nothing but 2000 ohms. Okay, so but when you are returning it back, they will say that if they say that it is 200 ohm only, you have to explain. See, there's a color coding, sir. This color coding, this is 2 kilo. So that is the purpose why it is exclusively a conductor. Okay, so no point of time. It is a matter of maybe in the entire 2 hours experiment class, identifying the resistor value and proper value. It is nothing but it's a matter of 1 or 2 minutes only. So it is not going to be, we cannot going to have it for, so you give me the resistor, I will identify, and after that, that is, it's a part of experiment. It's a very, very smiley, tiny portions, very tiny portion of the experiment. Immediately you are giving the resistor, okay, you have to check that whether. So likewise, you are having in experiment 5 resistors means, so from the 5 resistors, suppose you have to place 100 ohm resistors immediately next to the power supply means from the five resistors given physically, you have to identify which resistor is 100 ohm. So for that, you cannot be always, will not be always provided with a multimeter, because through multimeter also we can measure, but the availability of multimeter in any lab may be 4 or 5. So each and every student, suppose 30 students are in your class, 23 students are coming, means 23 multimeter we cannot provide. So moreover, in all the existing circuits, suppose if you have to analyze in later stage, after 4 years of completion of your degree, if you're going and join in any industry, okay, as a troubleshooting engineer, especially service engineer means, you may not be given as a discrete component. You will be given with a already PCB, already a printed circuit board in which components are stuffed and soldered. So there you have to identify which component is faulty, what a circuit is a problem. So that you have to replace. So there you cannot even take the resistor in hand. Okay, you have to identify. So in that case, using a color code is very much important. So this is what experiment in a virtual lab concept is given. Okay, in basic electronics. Here it is simply they are given. Okay, simply given. So they are given theory and quiz. So from the quiz only, it is asked. So they'll give some resistance value. They will ask what is that value. So that is what it is. But when you are going to really practice the experiment, it is not going to be a really like a 2 hour experiment. Okay, that is why in especially a bachelor level, degree level, okay, this particular uh, color coding, okay, resistor color coding is given as a study experiment. So that's what we have done. Okay, so I think today I have communicated. Today I have sent. Okay, so already I have sent the particular PPT, PDF completely. Today I once again I exclusively send the evaluation. So that is the evaluation. After studying the resistor, you should be able to tell by knowing the color coding. So by knowing the 4-band colors, what is the value of resistors. Likewise, if I'm giving the resistor value, numerical value with the tolerance percentage, how much tolerance, yeah, then you can able to tell me what are all the colors. Okay, color coding for the particular 4-band or 5-band or 6-band resistors. So that is the objective. So this will not be considered as an experiment, and this will not be, even if a college reopens or even if you conducted the lab in a physical manner, this will not be given as an experiment. It is a part and parcel of all experiments. Okay, all the experiments you have to expose to the resistors, inductor, and capacitor value. So you should know how to identify and etc. So that is the very important point I wish to convey. Any clarification in this regard? Hello.
Yes,
Any
sir.
clarification? Yeah, yes. Any clarification, please?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So this is we are studying. This is the warm up like that. Warm up like that. Okay. We are all familiarizing with these things. Not only for this lab, hereafter for all the labs. Even if you have to go for fifth semester, means in fifth semester you have to do some power electronics laboratory. In the power electronics laboratory also, suppose any voltage controller circuit, means there you have to use a number of inductors, number of capacitors, some resistors. Okay, there you should not be problem. Okay, there should not be any problem in identifying value, identifying the resistors. So to that extent only we are learning. So here, as far as this lab is concerned, this is not going to come in as an experiment. So here you have to very much grasp it very much easily. Okay, so that's why what is the content that given? Okay, that is a content. It is given list of experiment resistor. Okay, I have completely converted as a PPT. We have conducted. Okay, I explained how to do that. So after that, you should be able to know that. That's all. Okay. So now today, as per this class is concerned, we are going to see the inductor. Okay. So inductor. As far as the inductor is concerned, we already started discussing about that. Okay. So suppose if I'm having a coil, okay, if I'm having a coil like arrangement, okay, so if I'm saying that VL, what is the VL is what is the value of the inductance in Henry and what is the change in di by dt, because always my inductor will oppose the change in current. When there is a change in current only, there will be a value of that particular. So unless otherwise there is no any change in the value, there won't be anything. So inductor is somewhat similar to that resistor. How means it is also resisting the flow of current. It is also opposing the flow of current. But very importantly, unlike that is a resistor which is wasted the electrical energy, here it is stored the particular energy. Okay, here it is stored. How in the magnetic field form? In electromagnetic field form, it is storing the energy. Whenever we require, we can take the energy. But whereas in the resistor, once the current flows there, automatically I square R will be the losses. So we cannot get back. It will be automatically dissipated as a heat. But as far as this concern, it is storing the energy. But what is the similarity? Both are opposing the flow of current. Especially change in current, it is very much opposing. That is called inductor. So in this regard, I wish to show one important video. Okay, so video we can able to understand. So here, inductor. What is the role of inductor? Okay, what is the power supply? We are taking analogous. We are taking analogous. That is nothing but power supply. If we are assuming a battery, that will be considered as a similar to that of water tank, and inductor is assumed as a water wheel. Okay, so water wheel, how this energy can be stored whenever we need, how it can be retrieved back. So a small video I wish to show for a better understanding of the particular, because it is a study experiment. We cannot go straight away, we need not to do any simulation. Okay, so only we are in the need of doing that only. So as I told that, if you take a pump, okay, so similar to the pump, I am taking a battery. I have taken a battery. So automatically, what will happen is whenever I am connecting, okay, a pump, okay, it is having a two branches. Assume that it is having a two branches. So through one branches, it is having a reducer. So that means here, here water flow can be reduced. It is opposing. Suppose the dimension you see there, the dimension is coming, water is coming. Suppose this diameter is less than the diameter of input pipe and output pipe, automatically what will happen? Here some pressure, here some water will be going through this reduced one. And I'm assuming that another one branches also is there. Okay, another one branches is also is there where I'm going to connect a water wheel. So here we are going to learn the inductor concept analogous to the pump and pipe. So here pump is there, automatically water will go. So now if I'm facilitating the pump to operate, what will happen? It will keep on allow the water to come. So it is similar, analogous. So it is similar to that of resistive load. Okay, now instead of reducer, in electric circuit, what is analogous to is resistor. Okay, I'm going to have, and water wheel is I'm going to assume as an inductor. Okay, so now if a water is pumping, okay, water is pumping, in that what will happen automatically? It will go to two branches. It will be go to the all the two branches. Okay, so here I am having similar to that of. Suppose if only resistive pipe alone is there, what will happen? Suppose a closed loop arrangement is like this. So whatever may be the pump that is pumping from pump motor, it will be once again coming back. It is similar to that of a battery, okay, which is supplying LED. So from the positive terminal, okay, its electrons are going and electrons are coming back. Okay, so automatically the battery is discharging. Okay, battery is getting discharging. This is a one form. This is a one form where conventional method we are doing this conventional current. Okay, conventional current. So conventional current, you are all knowing that it will be always there will be a positive to negative. But in a real time, electron will be flowing like this only. So in this case, I am simply applying the concept in a pump where pumping motor because of the rest position. Okay, so now what will happen? Due to the water wheel moment of inertia, these wheels and all very high. Okay, due to the moment of inertia, it is not very easily rotating. So automatically this pressure apply, it is not able to rotate. It is keep on applying, keep on applying. So in the meantime, what will happen? There is another provision for the particular pipe to get back the water. So for pump. So automatically water will be first will be flow through the reducer only from pump to reducer. Once the moment of inertia overcome, slowly the water will start moving. It will facilitate the pump. So because of that, it is rotating also. It is facilitating the flow of water. There won't be any water will be flow through this branch because it is having a reducer. Compared to this here, there is no any reducer. Now water wheel is rotating. It is also facilitating the flow. So if you see that the water will be continuously flowing, it is stopped in the reducer. It will not go through this branch. So water pump will be now facilitating this direction only. Same way, in the same way, we can able to do it. We can able to understand in the electric circuit also when we are using the inductor. Okay. Suppose here, what happened? Suddenly, I am just I have stopped. Okay. Simply, I have stopped the particular. I'm stopping the pump. Now I'm stopping the pump. Even I'm stopped the pump because of the moment of energy that is stored in the water wheels, because it is continuously rotating, it will keep on rotating only. So because of that, water will be now flow in these branches. Okay, so flow in these branches only. So water will be keep on flowing in these branches. So until the energy is completely dissipated, okay, until the energy stored in the water wheel is completely come to zero, it will be keep on flow, it will be stop. Now, once again, if I on the pump, it will rotate. So now I think you can able to understand how the water pump. The same way here, inductor. Okay. So earlier circuit we are drawn for a simple, neatly we are drawn like this. So here it is an inductor. So earlier the circuit is drawn like this. Now it is very neatly drawn. That is nothing but I have connected a lamp. Okay. It is similar to that of reducer pump. Okay, but inductor will be always opposing the flow of current. So it is keep on opposing. But whenever you keep on current is opposing, whenever a small current is going, there will be a built up of magnetic field. So automatically the magnetic will be built up like anything. Because of that, now current is flowing through this inductor only. There won't be any current flow through the lamp. So now if I am disconnect the supply from the switch, lamp will be continuously energized by the inductor. So because it is in a magnetic field, it is like a coil. Automatically, while what will happen? This EMF, okay, this voltage will be applied to the lamp. So what is that voltage? What is that voltage? I already told that VL is equal to what is the inductance of this coil and di by dt. Di by dt. So earlier, okay, so this value until this current, okay, it will be keep on changing. So because now it is consuming, this current will be keep on changing with respect to time. It will come after some time, it will come to end. A completely whatever may be the magnetic field energy stored. So basically what you understood, when I am connected the battery, okay, parallel with the inductor and lamp, initially the current flow, main current flow is through the lamp only. Very limited current only it's going. So slow because of the it is opposing the flow of current. Okay. After that, because of the some current is going, a magnetic field is set up. That magnetic field is giving very high value of magnetic field. So that is once again facilitate the now it is almost oppose is become zero. It's not opposing. There will be a flow of current. So instead of through the lamp, now a complete current is flow through the inductor. So now enormous amount of energy stored. Okay, not enormous amount. So some amount of energy stored. Now, if I disconnect the supply from the battery, the energy stored in the magnetic field, okay, so it can produce a voltage. It is nothing but VL, L into dA. So it is start giving the current. It is start giving the current. So current is keep on changing, keep on reducing because now it is lamp is consuming that energy. So automatically current is keep on reducing. Automatically after certain time it will become zero. A complete energy from the inductor is transferred to lamp. In an inductor, energy is stored in the form of magnetic field. In this inductor, energy is stored in the magnetic field. So that's what I had discussed in the last class. Okay, that's all. It's come to gen. Now I once again I have to connect the switch. Okay, once again I have to connect the switch. Then only I can able to. So how it is producing? How a coil is producing magnetic field? So whenever a current carrying conductor is carrying, okay, whenever a current is carried by a conductor, around that there will be a magnetic field will be produced around the coil. Okay, so whether it is stretched, okay, or is in a coil form, around that magnetic field will be produced. So that we can verify very well verify practically also. Okay, if I'm keeping a magnetic meters, okay, so automatically whenever a current going in this direction, so because of that it can able to sense the direction of the flux and magnetic field direction. Okay, now so same way, if I'm current flow is in the reverse direction, current flow in the reverse direction, automatically there will be a current magnetic field in the opposite direction, rotation. So as a result of that, in the oil, the coil, okay, very high a magnetic field is set up. So if I'm sprinkle, okay, if I'm sprinkle some small and tiny specks on that, you can able to see how it is controlling, how it is really happening in the particular one. So that is what here is happening. So whenever a current is given, so enormous amount of magnetic field is there. So now current is flowing through the inductor only. Now suddenly I have stopped. I have stopped the switch. Now the inductor is supplying the required energy by the lamp. So automatically, because of that, it is consuming. It energy is coming to zero. Now no energy. So if you are frequently cut and on, so I can able to make the inductor to keep on energize and dissipate. Okay. So why inductors don't like change? They want to be remain in the same. So they don't want any change in the current. Okay, they want to be remain in the same. That's why we have explained when the current increases, they try to stop it with an opposing forces. Whenever there is a change in current, it will try to oppose that. So because of that opposing forces, so there will be a enormous amount of magnetic field is produced. Okay, that field is stored as a energy. So here the supplied electrical energy is converted into a magnetic field. Okay, magnetic energy. So that is stored in the particular inductor. Whenever it is disconnected from the supply, it is supplying the energy to the lamp by means of a electric field. Okay, so it is opposing force. A magnetic field is developed. Now no opposing force. Okay, so now once again opposing force. Magnetic field is developed. Now no opposing force. Okay, now this energy is supplied to the lamp. So this is how the inductor is can be energized and de-energized. Okay, so it is storing energy, magnetic field. Okay, so this is this because of this opposing force back EMF. Okay, electromagnetic force, electromotive force is created. That electromotive force is applied to the lamp. That is taken care of continuous supplying of the lamp. So this is how inductor is really working. Okay, now I think you are all able to understand what is the really. So it is similar to that of a pump that is connected to a through branches. In one branches, resistor is connected. Here, a resistor is nothing but lamp. In another branches, I am having a wheel. Okay, water wheel. This is similar to that of water wheel. So we have seen no, it is similar to that of water wheel, and it is similar to that of resistors. So earlier, whenever this switch is closed, so automatically current flow through this lamp only. Okay, like how from a pump, okay, through the even though it's a reducer is there, see it is completely closed. Through that only it is going because water wheel is completely opposed due to the moment of inertia, dead weight of the particular wheel. So water will not be allowed to flow, even though it is keep on giving pressure. After certain pressure, because of the pressure is increased, water wheel will be slowly start rotating. So that's the same way here. Slowly the current will be starting flow through the inductor. So because of that, finally a complete path, current flow path will be through inductor. It will cut resistor because lamp itself having some resistance. Because of that only it is burning. Because of that only I square R we are getting the light energy. So here where energy is stored, okay, it is facilitating the flow of electrons. So automatically all the currents will be flowing through this inductor only. So now the energy is stored in the magnetic field. Suddenly if I open the switch, what will happen? So this energy, okay, so that will be creating a back EMF, okay, that will be supplied to the lamp. So automatically the lamp will be continuously glowing. This energy is transferred to the lamp. Here it is dissipated as a heat and light energy. Heat and light energy. So automatically current will be keep on reducing. At some point of time, there won't be any DABDT. Automatically energy will be completely dissipated. So this is how inductor is really working. So here, if we compare that, this is resistor. This is resistor. But whereas if you compare that, this is inductor. Both are initially they are done oppose the flow of electrons current. Here opposing because of that it is dissipated as a heat and light energy. Here also is opposing. But it is continuously opposing only. It is not storing. It is here light and heat is produced. But here compared to the resistor, only difference is it is storing the energy. It is not wasting. It is storing the energy. Okay, so this stored energy can be retrieved back. Can be retrieved back. When I can able to retrieve back means if I am disconnect the supply, automatically here a closed path is available. Whenever for our inductor a closed path available, energized inductor, it is stored energy. Automatically that energy is converted to electrical energy, that is back EMF. So that is provided to the lamp. So that is facilitating the particular lamp to continuously glow. Okay, until this energy is available. Before this energy is available, completely discharged, if I once again do it, what will happen? So this current will be taken care by the main battery, and once again this energy will be built up. Magnetic field will be generated. Okay, so that is how I can able to do that. So especially where are all the applications we will see. if if you are connecting, okay, to the CRO, I'm having a one circuit in which a resistor is there. I'm having another one circuit in which inductor is there. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yes, please. Any doubt? Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Now you know the difference. Okay. Now I have connected on CRO. Okay, on the display unit. What is the current? Okay, what is the current? How when a resistor is connected, when inductor is connected. So when a resistor is connected, we can able to see sudden increasing. Okay, sudden on the spot increasing the value, and it will be set in one particular current until the particular voltage is applied. It will be keep on in the same current. But whereas it will be not like a resistor, it will be exhibiting a different characteristics. We can able to see that. Okay, so I'm connecting a supply, okay, both to the resistor and the inductor. Okay, so I'm pausing. Okay, I'm pausing. If I'm seeing that current suddenly it is increasing and set to a one current value, but whereas in inductor it is not like that, it is slowly increasing. Okay, slowly increasing, that means it is offering initially high resistance, then after that only it is completely allowing. Okay, so the same way, whenever I am take it, I am cut off the supply also, it is not come like resistor suddenly come to zero, it is slowly only it's coming to zero, slowly only. Okay, gradually only is coming to zero. So you can able to identify two different characteristics, okay, of the particular one. So already this current concept and all, it's okay. So what do inductors looks like? Inductors are looks like this one only. Okay, so it is like a coil. It's wounded, okay, over the coil, or it will be like a second figure. It will be wounded like a coil. So I we already seen that. So, but practically, I'm showing how it will looks like. So whenever it is there, it will be completely mounted. Okay, mounted on that. It's completely protection also is there because any external disturbances also may be entered, maybe also try to alter. Okay, alter the characteristics of that. So because of that, it is completely enclosed like this. Okay, completely it will be protected like this. So whenever we mounted that any circuit arrangement, if you see this, okay, so you can able to recognize that this is an inductor. So already last class also we are told, okay, so there are four different type. If I am using air core, that is no core is used means it is called air core inductor. If I'm used iron core, okay, iron core inductor is the best example is we can say choke which is used in our for fluorescent lamp purpose, transformer and etc. And ferrite core. Okay, instead of iron core, if I'm using a ferrite core, I have to mention it a dotted line. Likewise, variable inductance, variable inductor, variable core means I have to represent the particular inductor with a arrow mark like this. So mainly, so this and okay, all are using, okay, inductors, okay, inductors, motor. We are calling it as a induction motor. Why it's called means it is having a coil, it is offering a resistance. We are wounded. We are just simply making number of turns. It is wounded inside the motor. Likewise, transformer also in primary and secondary, we are wounded the coil. So it is called, it is working with the principle of mutual inductance. Mutual inductance. Likewise, relays also is there. Okay. So these are all working with a concept of this. Where do we use inductors? So mainly when we are used to boost converter, increase the DC voltage output, DC output voltage. Very important characteristics of an inductor is the momentarily it can able to transfer the very high energy. It is capable of transferring the very high energy. Okay, that means in terms of voltage. So I am having one circuit arrangement. Okay, whenever I need to boost the voltage, what I have to do? I simply, if I'm cutting the, say for example, I'm having a arrangement like this. Okay, arrangement like this. I'm having one load. I'm having one load. So in that, I'm keep on connecting this. Keep on connecting this. So in addition to that, I am also connected to a inductor. Okay, I am also connected it to a inductor. Okay, so in this case, what will happen? I can able to I can able to uh, transfer. Suppose if I'm having a switch like this, until that energy will be stored. Suppose if I completely remove this, okay, completely remove this by some other arrangement, I'm connected to this. This is open circuited means what will happen? This and this open circuited means what will happen? Like some switch will be there. Okay, if I'm open circuited, that voltage will be applicable to this. Because of that, in addition to the supply voltage, the voltage which will be supplied by the inductor here also will be added. So it will be like a booster. Okay. So you later stage you will be studying in power electronics boost converter configuration you will study. At that time you can. So it is simply whenever I am stop supplying to inductor and make it to connect to the load automatically. In addition to the DC output voltage, the inductor also can boost some voltage. So, if for example, supply is giving 5 voltage, for some instant I need additionally 2 voltage means, so I need not to go for additional sources. If I'm connected inductor, whenever I'm connected from disconnect from the source and connected to load side, it addition to the voltage it will also giving. So that's why it's called boosting the voltage. Okay. So second application is we can use them to choke an AC supply and allow only DC to pass. So inductor can be allowed, okay, only a DC to pass in the particular supply. We can able to filter. We can able to make it a continuous one. Especially the inductors are preferred, highly preferred for continuous current conduction mode when there is any very high value of inductance is there. We use them to filter and separate different frequencies also. Suppose if I have multiple frequencies, okay, I can able to using this coil, I can able to specifically filter and separate the different frequency supplies. That and all we are going to use it in your subsequent semester laboratories. Okay. We also use them for transformers, motors, and relays. So inside that, in the transformer also, we are using motors and relays also we are using. So one important thing. So when we are going for, especially uh, here in subsequent experiment also, we are going to have one fluorescent lamp wiring. Okay, fluorescent lamp. That is nothing but colloquially we are saying tube light wiring. Tube light wiring. So there also we are going to use okay inductor, one inductor. Okay, that will be. You are all seeing the choke, no? In tube light fitting, the next to tube light will be like this. Okay, that will be fitted. That will be fitted. So below that there will be a choke arrangement will be there in the fitting. In the fitting, okay. So this is called choke. Usually, what will be the how it will be look like means it is having a two terminal one. It is having a two terminal one. Inside that, L and iron core will be there. This is a L core. L core will be there. It is like a slice. It is like a L iron core and I core will be there. I. It will be. They are repeatedly having number of such a things. Okay, we are having. So one over another we will have, and we will have, but everything will be every layer will be insulated from each other. After that, we will start winding. We will start giving winding with a number of turns. Okay, so all the things will be winded, and here we will taking it out. Okay, here we will taking it out. It is having two terminal. Okay, this is what I am saying is this one choke. So whenever I am giving a current is flowing through this initially, what will happen? It is because of that self-inductance and mutual inductance, enormous amount of high voltage will be produced. That voltage will be applied to the tube light here. Okay, because of that, this gas inside the tube plate, what will there is a gas only. They will got ionized. Already some number of electrons will be there because of the filament is already heated. So free electrons will be available because of the high voltage, 1000 voltage, fraction of second inside our tube plate choke, 1000 voltage will be produced, induced. Because of that, what will happen is it suddenly getting discharged, the electrons are start able to reach in here. So that is why our tube light is glowing. After that, why this very high current is possible? Because of the starter arrangement. Starter, initially starter will be in a closed position. So because of that, the supply is there. Okay, and through this choke only, it is going to the starter. So because of that, very high current will be going. Because of very high current going, very high voltage is induced. Because of this very high voltage induced, it is discharged the gases inside the tube light. So how it is possible? Already the electrons, filaments are heated, the free electrons are available. So that is facilitating the conduction. And now the conduction, current conduction through the lamp, automatically this will be bimetallic strip will be there. It will be removed. So there won't be any further current through the starters. Only through choke and the tube light only it's keep on going. So it is a best example. It's a best example of inductance. So the same way, whenever I'm having a spark plug, inside any internal combustion engine, so any motorbike and all, we are having spark plug. There also I'm giving a voltage. Because of that, very high voltage will be there. That only facilitating a spark. Okay, suddenly I'm giving starting. Initially I'm giving starting. After that, a spark because of very high voltage is there. Here there is no any contact, but this contact is not able to withstand for a very 1000 voltage because the spark is produced. This spark will be applied to the gaseous environment. What will happen? Immediately it will burn remaining thing and all. As per the internal combustion engine working principle, it will be working. Okay. So why I am telling is relating this means you should be able to understand what is the particular uh, value. Okay. So we can. So how do we can measure the inductance? That is a very important thing. Usually, inductance is measured using a unit Henry. Okay, unit Henry. 1 Henry is equal to if 1 volt of voltage of EMF across the inductor with 1 ampere of current. So whenever I am energized this coil, okay, whenever I'm energized this coil, completely is energized. Now it is capable of giving 1 voltage EMF, electromotive force. Okay, with 1 ampere of current means we are calling it as a 1 Henry. 1 Henry. So unit for the inductance is Henry. Okay, so this is what we have seen last time. So how we can able to do that? This is what is the wire diameter, what is the loop diameter, what is the length, and what is the number of turns. So there are many factors to be considered. So for the inductance value, okay, inductance value, there are many factors. There are many factors. What is the core type used? Based on that, it may be changing. How much length we are using? Based on that, inductance value changing. What is the loop diameter? Based on that, inductor value changing. What is the wire diameter? Based on that, inductance changing. So inductance is a many factors. We have to consider many factors for that. Okay. Then usually we are using LCR meter. So if you want to measure the particular value of the inductance, okay, what is the value of inductance in terms of Henry, millihenry, we are using a LCR meter. So normally, yes, this is called, okay, LCR meter or RLC meter. So this is what we are doing. Okay, so if we are keeping this inductor here, we can able to very well know that we need not to connect like this. We have to do like this LCR meter. Whatever with the inductor, we can able to place it. There will be a pins point will be available. If you have pressed that, okay, automatically what is the value of the inductor that will be displayed. Okay, so this is how a inductor will be. We can able to understand. We can able to study that. Okay. Any clarification? So as far as the simulation part, they are given only this much only. The function of the valve to control the amount of fluid. Okay, similar to that of a resistor, it is also having. But apart from like a valve, it is storing the energy as like a water wheel also. That means even if you are switch off the pump, so because of the water wheel, okay, due to the moment of energy stored, it will be continuously rotating. That will facilitate the flow of liquid, flow of water in the pipe, okay, PVC pipe. The same way, inductor also can facilitate. Okay, it can be through the EMF, it can be able to continuously glow the bulb or glow the load which is connected to that. Okay, the only difference is that is only. And another one is resistor will be always opposing the flow of current. Okay, only the inductor will be opposed the change in the current. Okay, if there is a change, increase and decrease, that all alone will be changing. So that's why it's equation for an inductor is V is equal to L into di by dt. So these are all the some common structure of an inductor. Okay, so wherever you are seeing that, you have to assume that inductor is used. Okay, so there is a four different type. Okay, so one is a air core inductor, and another one is iron core and ferrite, and variable inductors. Okay, so some test questions. Suppose if I'm increasing the number of turns from 50 to 100 means automatically it will be increasing only. So whatever may be the inductance, it will be increased four times. If I'm increasing double 50 to 100, the inductance value will be changed to square. Okay, four times it will be changing. The same way, so whatever may be the coils. Okay, if I'm increasing the length, okay, if increasing the core length also, it will be double. Okay, so all the things, all the means I can able to increase the inductance. Okay, so this is what they are given. Like I told that inductive is capable of producing a momentary voltage. So there are two different places we are using that particular concept. One is we are using it in particular choke when we are realizing the particular in a choke. That also due to the self and mutual inductance in a fluorescent lamp wiring, we are using a choke. Inside the choke, for the fraction of second, when we are switch on that, when the starter is simply short circuiting the circuit, enormous amount of current will be flowing. That will be doing two work. One is to induce a very high voltage in the inside the choke, and another one is number of electrons that is available near to the filament, because the filament is getting heated, electrons will be available is more. Whenever this two combination happens inside the tube light, there is a discharge is happening. That's why tube light is running. Tube light is working. So through that gaseous element, current is passing, that is doing. So another one is whenever you're using an internal combustion engine, whenever you are using an internal combustion engine, there is a need of spark plug. Okay, so that is we are using with the concept of inductance only. Okay, so uh, it is capable of producing very momentary, very high voltage. Okay, so because of that, what will happen? So it will producing a spark. That temporary high voltage is called usually called as inductive kick. Inductive kick. Inductive kick. Okay, so that is the point. So as far as this one in a simulation part is concerned, they are given only this one only. But I think through the video, I hope that you understood a little bit better. Okay, why we are using, how we can use the inductor in any circuit. Okay, so any clarification is there? We can, if not so, we will proceed with the capacitor. Is there any clarification?
No, sir.
No, yeah. Others? No, we can proceed. Okay. So similar to that of capacitor, we are using another one important passive component is capacitor. Sorry, similar to that of inductor and resistor, we are using another one passive component which is nothing but a capacitor. So when we are using a capacitor, so it is capable, the name itself showing that it is capable of storing energy. It is capable of storing energy. But only difference between inductor and capacitor is inductor is capable of storing energy in form of magnetic field, whereas capacitor is capable of storing in the form of electric field itself. So it is capable of storing electrical energy directly. It will not be converted to any other form. Directly it is stored as a electrical energy. Okay. So automatically we can able to use the same way where we are using inductor. Okay, especially Say for example, you all studied about the rectifiers. Okay, so say for example, if I'm having a AC, if I'm having a AC supply, if I'm having a AC supply, so automatically, what is the output voltage will be? Voltage will be like this. Okay, so automatically what will happen? It will go. So only thing is here there won't be any. Sorry, here there won't be any second half cycle. That means second half cycle will not be there. It will having a voltage like this. So if I'm using only one diode, positive half cycle is there. During negative half cycle, it won't conduct. Then once again it will be there. Suppose if I'm using a two diodes, there will be a flow like this. But even though it is not crashing, we don't have any negative half cycle. We are saying it's a DC voltage only. We are saying it is a DC voltage only. But if you see that enormous amount of this peak to this peak, there will be a enormous amount of difference is there that is caused. So if you want to minimize, and if you want to make it to a somewhat less the difference between the voltage means I have to use the capacitor. I have to use the capacitor. So in a similar way, okay, in a similar way, analogous to the pump arrangement, same pump arrangement we are going to, but here instead of water wheel, okay, water wheel is taken as per inductor. We are going to have consider this as a another one sub tank, okay, secondary tank for the particular source. So how analogous to the water supply, we can able to understand the once again understand the capacitor behavior that will I'll show it to you. So now what is a capacitor? Is a capacitor is stored electric charge. So it is similar to that of battery only. Okay, it is similar to that of battery only. So here in battery, electrical energy stored, okay, in a chemical, in a chemical. But whereas in the capacitor, we can store electrical energy in form of electric field. Okay, so in another way, this take, okay, this in battery we can store more amount of energy, but whereas in a capacitor we can store very less amount of energy only. Very important advantage of capacitor is it can able to discharge very high amount of energy, but battery is having a fixed discharge only. Okay, fixed discharge only. If you are short circuiting that only, it will be immediately discharged. Okay, otherwise it will be having a fixed discharge. But even through the load, if any resistor or any passive elements connected, okay, it is capable of discharging very high amount of energy instantly. So that is the reason why we are all using capacitors. Okay, so that's what storage is less, but whereas in battery storage can be more. But charging and discharging very fast, instantly we can able to do that. But whereas battery comparatively it's slow only. Comparatively it's slow only. So now, unlike other two passive components, now we are comparing the capacitor with the battery. Why? In both the cases, electrical form of energy can be stored. But whereas in inductor, it is in the form of magnetic field. But of course, we cannot take resistor. It is an energy dissipating element. Even though it's a passive element, it is an energy dissipating element. So energy stored element is out of these three passive elements, two only. One is capacitor and another is inductor. Out of these two, we can able to compare with the battery only capacitor because these both only handle the same form of energy, electric field, okay, electrical energy. So many circuits you can see the capacitors like this. Okay, this is what capacitors. Okay, how does a capacitor works? That's what here I'm going to explain. So it is similar to that of suppose if you are having a water flow. Okay, if you want to control the water flow, what we'll do, we'll close the valve. Whenever water is need, we will open the valve. Okay, so if I'm assuming that that water flow is having a storage tank, once again storage tank is having a delivery pipe is there. Okay, here I'm going to assume that whatever may be the input valve, okay, inlet valve, it is similar to that of voltage, that is battery. Storage tank, I'm taking this analogous to the capacitor. Okay, I'm taking that analogous to the capacitor. So even though the valve is closed, whatever may be the stored energy, stored water in the storage tank can capable of continuously delivering the water. Okay, so the same way in a circuit, even though the battery is disconnected, through the energy stored in the capacitor, I can able to continuously provide the required electrical energy from the capacitors. That's what we are going to see. See, now if I'm suddenly close the valve, what will happen? Until, so I am closing the valve. So until this, all the water available stored energy, water can be discharged. Okay. Now, if I'm assuming that I am closing the valve before it is reaching a complete discharge, I'm allowing the particular water to fill. I am closing the input valve and open the valve very frequently, but not allow the complete falling of the capacitor. Means I can able to completely provide the water to the discharge pipe. The same way, if I am very frequently charging and discharging capacitor before it reaches, okay, completely discharge, I can able to maintain the energy flow to the load. Okay, so this is in a circuit. The capacitor will be looks like this. So there will be it is like a storage tank. Usually, uh, two different important thing will be printed on that. So what is the capacitor? So that is a unit is farad. Okay, how much is farad? And next one is how much is the voltage? Voltage withstanding capability. So a capacitor, even though it can store electrical energy, so in particular voltage only, that will be very much printed on that. So the first one is it is capacity, and the next one is maximum voltage it can stand. So if you charge the voltage, if you connect it to the source more than this voltage, what will happen? After whenever it is reached beyond 50 voltage, it will be busted. It will burst. It will be damaged. After that, we cannot completely use. So very importantly, we have to take care about what is the voltage rating of a capacitor. Okay, I think with this I can able to stop. I think almost 3 o'clock. Okay. Any clarification up to this?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So I think by tomorrow, next week we will finish the capacitor. Then we will move to the DSO, CRO, and like that. Okay. So these are all study only. You are not going to do anything. You are knowing that what is what, how to identify, how to know the specification, how to read the printed things. Okay. When in a real circuit, how it will looks like. So that is the familiarization. Completely this next to 1 week also, it will completely familiarization only. After that only, we are going to really do the experiments. Okay. Uh, so I think I can assign here, as you told. So you just mark that. Okay, I will 1 minute. I'll put it in the chat box. In the chat box, I will give you the link for the particular simulation lab. So before you coming to the next lab, you try to solve some of the questions that is given in the particular virtual lab. Say, for example, now familiarization of inductor is over. Okay. So if you go to that, there will be a quiz. If you click the quiz, okay, you can start. So it will be asking questions based on the some questions. It will be asking questions. Okay, how much inductance value, how much is the voltage, and etc. You please try to do that. So once you have done that, okay, once you are done correctly, you can definitely you cannot do it in a first attempt itself. Sometimes you have to do wrong only. Once you have done the correct one, okay, all the things are correct. So you take a screenshot. You take a screenshot. How to take a screenshot is you have to reduce the size. Okay, now 80%. So now around 50% you reduce it. Okay, so completely all the questions will be visible. So you take the screenshot. Okay, after after that you place the screenshot in your Paint, and here you print your name. Print your name. You send it to me. Okay, you send it to me. I will give you the my mail ID also. So mail and as well as WhatsApp. So in both the cases, I can download it. I can store it. Okay. Have you all done? Are you all able to do this?
Yes, sir.
I already put it in a chat box. The link where you have to identify. In that link, if you go that, you can able to see it becoming like this only. Okay. It will be coming like this. Okay, welcome to a basic electronics virtual lab. It will be coming like this. If you go to that, there you can go to list of experiments. In that, you go to the third one, familiarization with the inductor. So already you know what is this, and already you have seen enough videos and all. Now you go to the quiz. Okay, start the quiz and complete it. Okay, and you send me the screenshot. Okay, so after submit it, all the things will be corrected like that. It will coming. So you just make a screenshot, then you paste it to the Paint. Here in white space is there, no? In white space. Here you can mention your name and you send it to me. Okay. So already I given one more assignment. What is that? Anybody? Hello.
Yes, sir.
The resistance calculation. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So in both thing you just complete. Try to complete before next week lab. You try to submit. Okay. Any
Okay, sir.
clarification? Any
No, sir.
clarification?
Sir,
No.
mark that much.
Yeah, I will wait. I minute. Okay. Answer attendance Abhinav.
Present, sir.
V Abhinav.
Present, sir.
Aditya.
Present, sir.
And Anant. Anantu.
Sir, இவ்வளோ இருந்தா சார் டிஸ்கனெக்ட் ஆயிடுச்சு நெட்வொர்க் ப்ராப்ளம் எனக்கு மெசேஜ் பண்ணான் சார்.
Okay. Okay. Arun Kumar.
Present, sir.
Ashwin.
Present, sir.
Azad.
Present, sir.
Basil. Absent.
Yes, sir.
Emmanuel.
Absent, sir. Best.
Okay. Emmanuel. Emmanuel. Is there? Is there?
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Okay. Jodish.
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Sevuga Perumal. Sevuga Perumal.
Present, sir.
Luis.
Present, sir.
Madhuban.
Present, sir.
Namla Shakir.
Yes, sir.
Nitin. Nitin. Nitin is not there. Nitish.
Present, sir.
Sriraj.
Present, sir.
Syed Mohammed.
Absent, sir.
Uday Kumar.
Present, sir.
Vinit.
Present, sir.
Okay. What about
Sir.
Veeramani and then Vikas? Who is
Sir,
present?
Vikas Patel.
Nitin, sir.
Nitin, sir. Nitin.
Nitin. Okay. So Sudeep, Alex absent.
Yes, sir. Discontinue, sir. Sudeep Alex and Vikas Patel are discontinued.
Veeramani and then
Absent, sir.
absent. Syed also absent.
Yes, sir. Syed and Best Message are also absent, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, we will see next class. And before that, before next week, you complete all the things and you send it to me.